Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Time Traveler's Handbook. Today we are going to be talking about Doctor Who Season 10, Episode 8, titled The Lie of the Land. Spoilers ahead. In this episode, the monks who were running the simulation in the episode that we talked about previously have taken over Earth and have essentially brainwashed the population of the Earth to believe that they are the supreme overlords of the humans. The Doctor and Bill having been present at the moment when the monks were attempting to cause this all to happen, they weren't affected by the brainwashing that was taking place, and thus they knew from their personal experience that the monks had only been around and active for about 6 months. However, the monks had forced the idea in everyone else's head that they had been there for millions of years, guiding human development and being their supreme overlords. They did so through the use of many statues planted around the globe, transmitting a signal through some sort of psychic link. The thing that I want to talk about today is the concept of the perceived change in history and the time stream through the active use of brainwashing. A lot like the simulation episode that we talked about last time, the world that was built up by the monks was built for the purpose of ruling over the people in the world and making them believe that the world was in a different state than what it actually was. In the previous episode, they were trying to determine the correct method in order to make this happen, but in this episode, they have actually done it. So this method that they have used to brainwash everyone is essentially a way to go back and change all of the key events that happened throughout history to their will without actually changing any of these events and still following the rules of the universe that they are in. Normally, if you were to go back and change those key events, you would simply just cause a different parallel universe, but they can go into any universe, go to the present time, and change everyone's mind about what happened in the past without actually affecting the past. They're just making people perceive that it happened that way. There's something interesting about how what people remember and the history that is recounted by people shapes the way that history actually happened. As time travelers, of course, you could go back in time and see what actually happened to reveal that none of this actually happened the way that people say it did at all. But if people don't remember it that way, then the whole future can be changed just by changing the minds of people in the present. That's the really interesting thing here, is that one-sidedness of this method. You could only influence the future. You can't influence the past, but you can be perceived to have influenced the past to change the future. And I think this is a really neat tool in order to cause something like this to happen. That's it for this episode. Next time we're going to be talking about World Enough and Time, the penultimate episode of Season 10. As always, thank you for listening.